Apurin. They're doing a technique that we learned about at Bonnekamphöhe in Germany, in Essen, where you take the nettles and you ferment them. And you make an incredible fertilizer from fermented nettle. I'm not sure why they say don't use a metal container. They say use a plastic or a wood one, as they're doing here with the plastic, and you make this incredible fermented nettle fertilizer. And they say not to use ones that have already sprouted. It's got a sensory trail over here where children are encouraged to take off their shoes, lie back on these benches that they have, and look up through rings that point them up to the canopy so they can see the canopy, bang on various pieces of old metal cans and things to make music in the forest, and listen to the sound of wood, listen to the sound of metal. So it's a sensory garden, place to close your eyes and just feel with your senses. Lots of signage about worms and vermiculture and no-till agriculture and not disturbing the soil. So the entire place with these great little teepees made of thatch for kids to hide in. It's structured so that it's a journey of discovery the entire time. And of course, Nye has been enjoying those discoveries. And there's George, and there's Victoria, and there's Anas, and there are greenhouses scattered throughout, which are gorgeous. And you have the chickens over here, and a lot of signage about taking care of bees so that they'll take care of us. That's absolutely lovely. Lots and lots and lots of signage. Really, there's a whole education to be had here at what is basically a social environmental justice swap meet recycling center, where people live and people work. They welcome immigrants from all over. They help them to establish their residency. So it's absolutely wonderful. There's Tulu, the field of the house in Wolof. So they're using different languages as they start building different types of systems. This one is to use different orientations to the sun and the wind, and use the space well for drying fruits and leaves and aromatics, edible flowers and all that. So all of that is available here. And so you learn different architectural styles, you learn different gardening techniques. So it is quite a natural theme park, if you like. Here you have the different types of gardening that one can do, of lombricompostage, which is worm composting, to turn the food waste into compost. So they're doing a lot of that. Here you see rhubarb, you see hyssop, you see sage, you see mint, and this is a mandala for elevating chicken, for raising chickens, and quite a riot of different forms, which is really nice. If we turn around here, there's a path leading to the other side, so I'll go and we'll take a look at that. But you could spend, as we are, so many hours just walking around here, and I haven't even shown you the recycling center yet. So far this is just all of the forest garden, food forest, permaculture location that we're looking at here. Great way also to get some shade and get out of the sun. But let's go down this sentier here and look at all the chicken houses that they have. This is Poule Limousine, which is a chicken tractor, I guess. Oh no, Poule Limousine is a species of chicken. They're from the granite regions of Limousin, and they are okay adapted to a very cold climate. So that's why it's called a limousine. Maybe the word limousine for the car also comes from the Limousin region. That would make sense. And then there's the Sussex Herminet. So lots of information on the different chickens. that exist here. There's the Gascon chicken right there. So really well signed environment. Oh, good. Yeah. So I think you can see there's so much attention paid to things. I love the natural bees. They have this houses for the native bees, and native bees don't sting because they don't produce honey, so they have nothing to defend, the signage tells us, and so they're very docile. They don't live in bee hives and colonies, but they're gregarious, so they like to live together, but they're not organized like the honey-producing bees with such a hierarchy. And this is the sensory trail that lets you use touch and sight and smell and hearing, and you might even see a hedgehog, they say, hanging out in here. I love how they say here to take off your shoes here and experience this trail with your feet. And you can see how children love playing in here on these beautiful trails. Close your eyes, take time and listen to the sounds of the forest, and then all of this, these little paths. This is really cool that it has a place where they ask you to lie down and put your back on this and then look up in the forest. So if we do lie down, then we go like this, then we see a canopy up there, which is gorgeous. Really nice canopy. And there's different wildfowl over there. There's a cool teepee down here, and things to frame your reality. Again, this idea of putting borders using deadfall defines the trail and brings it to life. But it's about definition. Borders are semi-permeable, and they really are about framing. They shouldn't be about exclusion. They're about the way that you look at the world through a certain frame. That is what makes borders of interest, that they help us define new ways of thinking and seeing. Right? And so even reconsidering things that we've thrown away as we look through. And I like that they have picnic benches down there in the forest, and I like that they have little garden plots for growing edible flowers and strawberries and other things that don't require direct sun. This little ha-ha blind, like we have at Rosebud, is really nice. So you can just sit and watch for the hedgehogs, watch for the birds. It makes for a really beautiful experience. And as you go out of here, then you see that it goes on and on. Then this is a little oasis in the forest, a oasis of tranquility. You can come and picnic here. Obviously, they have a whole message about creating soil, and they have this neat little house, which I love, called the cabin at the end of the garden. And it's all, of course, this green roof, and you go inside, as kids love to do, and you sit on the bench and you look out this blind to see agriculture done right, trellised with beautiful passion fruit flowers. So that's really nice. And the rich smell of earth, the assertions of the best way to make healthy vegetables on signs like this here. And the members of the village are working here to make their healthy food. You see here they talk about bees, but they also talk about the living soil and how important living soil with no pesticides, no herbicides, and no barren soil. They cover everything with straw, making a roof for the worms to do their great work. And the results, of course, are that you get incredible vegetables. Really, really nice vegetables. And this reminds me of Monacampeux in Germany. They're doing similar things there with Hubertus and the others. And so there's donkeys over there, and animals are an important part of the agriculture because they produce the manures that we need, that are so vital to the system. So I think this little tour gives you all a really good idea of how a community has come together to foster environmental and social justice in a meaningful, real way. And it's very ludic, as you can see from that child there. Play is involved in all of this. And the ludic lifestyle, where you play your way to not just survival but a thriving economy, is what we need most. We need to be able to, of course, respect the animals and their environment, as they say here, but do it in a playful way. And I think the reaction of kids in this really indicates just how special an environment you can create that invites that. Oh, there's a deer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful deer. Several of them.
I see two. Do you see more than two?
No, I see two.
I see three.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't see three, but if you do, that's cool. Yeah. So this is called the Village MOS, based on a village in the Middle East that was obliterated. And so they've created these Village MOS programs throughout France to remember what happened when people were displaced from their land, when the traditional indigenous practices were destroyed, and finding ways to bring people together over environmental and social justice. Come on, Nai. And then there's big solar panels over there by the roadside, by the highway. Come on, Nai. Nai. Let's go. Hey, little buddy. Time to go. Hey, you.
Hey.
Oh, careful. Go, run. I want you to see you run. Okay, go. That's good. So a lot of different pastures in here. And I'll come back on once we get to another part of this wonderful property.